and I think it's probably been very painful for you to stand by and watch as other kids mistreat your daughter. Tell me about that.
Well, when she was at the school, kids would make pig noises at her. They, wouldn't let her join or sit with them. They wouldn't have her in any of the class projects. She'd be doing projects on her own. Like I said, she's never been invited to anybody's birthday party. She's never spent the night. She never gets to do any of that,
Do you invite other kids to spend the night or to have a slumber party?
I try.
What happens?
Some of them say no.
But what about the ones that say yes?
Then when they're at my house, it's like all they really want to do is eat and stuff. And it's like, I don't want to do that. It's like I want to watch movies and go out and stuff.
But they have had also some that would say they'd do something with her and at the last minute not show.
Have you talked to the teachers about this, to the school about it?
I talked to the school about the girls calling her names and telling her not to come back to the school, and they said they'd take care of it. I talked to them again when they did a Kris Kringle program at school where you drew a name.
Yeah.
And you gave little gifts, but you didn't let the person know. She did that 2 years. 2 years in a row. She never got a thing. She gave gifts to everybody.
And they didn't give gift back?
No.
Did we know who had chosen her name?
No.
You do?
Yeah, because at the end, they let us know, and both times I got the same person.
Did anybody call that person's mother and say, you're supposed to bring in a gift?
Probably not.
I talked to the teacher. I talked to both teachers.
What did the teacher say?
She would talk to him. She would, see what's going on. Maybe,
But they'd say that and they don't do it.
Nothing. No. She got a couple pieces of candy then, but I think they were from the teacher. It wasn't from the girl.
Right.
I mean, she bought gifts for hers.
There was an incident last winter which really upset you. What happened?
Well, she was attacked 3 times at school. And then they stole her starter coat, a winter jacket.
Do you know the names of the people who attacked you?
Mm-hmm. I know the names of one of them.
When you know the name, what do they do then when they know the name?
Well, I went to the school. My husband and I both have been up to the school on several occasions. And we talked to the principal, and they said that they'd take care of it. Well, it happened 4 times and with the coat, but after that, she wasn't attacked after that.
And they stole your coat?
Right out of a locked locker.
How cold was it?
It was one of the coldest days.
How did you get home?
Well, I went to because I was a
friends. She would like to be a cheerleader. She'd like to be in the marching band. She'd like to just sit at a normal school desk. That would make her happy. But Leslie says none of these things are possible because she weighs 400 pounds. Is that right? Leslie, what is it like for you at school every day? I said that we just don't understand how much prejudice, and that's what it is, guys, it's prejudice.
It's hard because the clothes, like the regular normal tops everybody wears.
When something comes in style.
Yeah, you can't get it.
You can't get it.
You can't get it because it's either cut where you don't look good in it, or the blue jeans are too short.
Right.
The skirts are too short.
So you can't, there's no way somebody either terribly thin or terribly, or overweight can ever wear what the other kids are wearing. I mean, that's for sure.
I mean, most of the time I have on baggy jeans, a long shirt, a t-shirt. It's more what skinnier people would wear is a night shirt.
And there's no chance to do activities like cheerleading or marching band or any of that?
I am in the marching band.
Good.
But it is very hard to keep up with them.
Right. When you say it's hard to keep up with them, can you keep up with them?
Yes, I can keep up.
Okay, a lot of stuff in school is hard. You just got to do it.
I'll have to go the extra mile to be in step with everybody. And the fact is, I did try out for flag corps. And they told me there was no sense in me trying out for the fact that they had overweight people on there. And she didn't like them because they whined.
They what?
They whined.
They whine.
And I tried out anyway.
Did you say, I don't whine?
Yeah. Me and my best friend, she's overweight too. We went our week, and we did our laps, extra laps, in fact. And We didn't make it. Everybody else made it, but 3 people, and we were the 2.
There
And
was
the other
one
girl,
other.
there was one other that was chunky, so she quit because she'd already heard it.
So again, not only is it the students who are doing the discrimination, but in many instances it's the teachers, the coaches, and the school. Teresa, you told us that you and Leslie argue about food. What is it you argue about?
Well, sometimes we argue about quantity and about nutrition value in the food, and I want Leslie to realize that it's something that she has to do for herself, and she has to decide that I don't control it. I don't control anyone's but my own, and I'm not good at that. And I want Leslie to be able to make her own choices and her own decisions, but to make good choices and good decisions about what she's going to eat.
Leslie sometimes comes home in tears because of embarrassment at school.
Yeah, she, in the band, she was marching on the field.
Sean, I know you're unhappy. Tell me why. What's it like for you as a 16-year-old? And you're tall too, aren't you?
Yeah, it's very hard. It's hard to try to fit in, to try to do anything. You go to certain extremes for acceptance.
Like what?
I would act out in school just for someone to come up and commend me, just for someone to come up and say, hey, Sean, that was pretty cool.
Right.
Just
Showing off, acting
yeah.
out,
So they would give
anything
me-
so that you get some kind of positive attention.
Yeah.
So would you say that you work on being the bad boy?
Yeah.
Do you? Mm-hmm. But you know you're doing it?
Yeah.
You know you're trying to be the bad boy.
Yeah.
Do you have friends?
Yeah, not where I live, no.
No.
I have acquaintances. I have people who, will want to hang out with me or something, which is very rarely, but I don't have friends I can talk to. I don't have friends, what I consider friends. In the definition of friendship, no, I don't have friends.
Okay. Let's talk about the definition of a bad boy. It's using your size in a way that's inappropriate. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yes.
It's intimidating others, or what do you do that you consider being bad?
I would swear excessively at the teachers and get kicked out of school,
Okay.
out of the classroom,
All
and get
right.
suspended.
The other kids probably think that's cool,
Yeah.
right? And so you have a discipline problem, and you know it comes from the weight.
Yes.
Okay, you told us you hate eating in front of other people, that it's a secret thing. Tell me about that.
Eating to me is like, I don't like to do it because I'm embarrassed to do it. It embarrasses me for me to put food into my mouth. And it took a long time. I don't know if my mom knows this or not, but it took a long time for me to actually come to grips with starting to eat in front of other people. And it's hard for me because, I like to eat, and I don't know why, and I'll eat just because there's nothing to do. Right. I'll eat when I'm not hungry. I'll eat when I'm depressed.
What does eating make you feel like?
It makes me feel bad. For a little while, it's like a high. For a little while, you'll feel good, and then maybe not even as short as maybe 15 minutes later, you're like, wow, I don't believe I did that. And you're kicking yourself in the butt.
Because all food is guilt.
Yes.
There's always guilt connected with it. Let me ask you, you've taken him to doctors. What do they say? The Ruth Ann. James weighs 170 pounds, is that correct? And every day at school, the other kids call him names like Fatso, and he's getting beaten up. It got so bad that finally Ruth Ann took him out of school. Ruth Ann, out of school?
Well, he was put into a private school. It's paid by the state, but it's they said for his behavior problems.
Was it his behavior problems?
Well, he does have one with his mouth.
Okay, he
Defending
mouths
himself.
off. Sean, does that sound like somebody we know?
Yeah.
Could it be the same problem with somebody we
It'd
know?
be very similar.
James, you told our producer the kids were making fun of you at school, and if you didn't fight with them, they'd beat you up. So what was that like for you to deal with?
It was hard because, I took abuse, and
You did take a lot of abuse.
Yes.
Do you think maybe you became like Sean? If somebody was going to abuse you, you were going to tell them off
Yeah.
no matter what? Is that what
Yeah.
happened?
And I started using my fists. I mean,
And you started hitting people too?
Yeah.
Did you do that when you were his age?
No, not usually.
Not using your fist, but using your mouth. James, you said you feel like you can't win with other kids. They make fun of you when you eat regular food. They make fun of you when you eat diet food. They make fun of you when you eat fattening food.
yeah.
No matter what you eat, somebody points you out and makes fun of you.
Yeah. Even once I tried to go on Weight Watchers,
Yes?
and it was too hard because they teased me because I brought like Weight Watchers food.
Yeah, and they thought that was funny, and let's tease him.
Yep.
James, your mother told you tried to do sports, but they won't let you wrestle.
Because I'd be facing like kids that are 3 times the size of me in tallness.
Age.
Yeah, in age. They're like,
In age. So if you were wrestling in your age group, they'd all be real
like
small.
15 maybe.
Right, so you would have to wrestle up in that big
Yeah.
age group. You tried jogging?
Yeah.
What happened with that?
Well, I tried jogging before football games because I played football, but the kids teased me too much, and they said, "Oh, look at the fatso running."
Now, you're at a new school now. How's that going?
It's better because the kids are nicer.
And it's worse for you because you're not in the same school as Jay is anymore.
Very.
So when you said to me, I don't have a friend, and we met Jay, it's because you're not in the same school.
Well, don't get me wrong, I do have friends at school, but not ones I can relate to
Okay.
about this issue, about being overweight.
Ruth Ann, what's going through your mind as you listen to your son?
Well, a lot where he retaliates is because people have made fun. He's looked for, like the principal or teachers to defend him, and he's gotten...
Your 12-year-old son, Samuel, killed himself because he said he would rather be dead than to hear any more fat jokes. Please accept our deepest sympathy on the loss of your son. I know it's difficult for you to talk about Samuel, but I think you know that we're speaking out in hopes of helping other children and their families. So we thank you for that. He was 12 years old. What was happening that made him so unhappy?
Well, Samuel was teased a lot at school.
How big was Samuel?
Samuel was only 174 pounds, yet he was 5'4". So that means he was not.
He was not.
He was not fat.
He was not fat.
To me, he looked like almost a chiseled sculpture.
Yes.
I envied the boy for his body, but he thought that he was fat.
Where
because of
did
the
he
teasing.
get the feeling that he was fat?
Because he was teased, the kids told him he was teased because he had breasts. As a boy growing up, he had the breasts, and that was a problem. The girls would come and pull at his breasts and say, "You need breast hair," or things like that, or write him little rude notes.
And the kids sometimes called him Fat Boy.
Yeah.
Fat boy.
Different names that they would call fat people. Two brothers, big boy, or, dumb boy. People assume that once you're fat, you're not intelligent. But in Sammy's case, it was different. I mean, at 9 years old, he could handle Pythagoras' theorem. He could handle brilliant mathematical concepts. Science. He had high musical medals. Yet nobody stopped long enough to look at these things. It just seemed as...
But you're saying he wasn't fat. I don't think, judging from pictures of him, that he was. But he got it in his mind
Because he was
because
told
of the
that.
teasing.
Yeah.
Who is going through this. Let's ask Dr. Connie Stewart. She has a group called Shape Down. And I think we need some pretty strong talk, and I think we need it kind of quickly. The kids are in real pain. They feel very isolated. I think that unless you've been through this, you can't possibly understand what that prejudice is like. What can the parents do to make them feel better?
Just what we're doing now.
Talking about it.
Yes, and in the program that I have, which I've been using for about 10 years, there are groups, and there are different aspects of childhood obesity, and you have to approach them all at the same time.
Which is why our parents who say, we've got to set up a center to do that for other kids, that's about the best thing you can do, is to get them to have those kinds of friends. So many of the kids have spoken of suicide. How do you tell when your kid is in real danger?
You have to be able to recognize the signs of depression and not walk away from it, and be very sensitive. Some of the signs are not wanting to go to school,